of time. But what we have done when we launched that vision that I showed in 2005, aside of the investment done on the development, we also dedicated more than $100 million to develop what we call an authorized service center network around the world. And this has been deployed, year after year. Today you count with something like 40 authorized service centers around the world. In India, in January, we nominated Embraer as our authorized service center. This year we have invested a lot in training engineers with them, deploying parts and so on. And this grows the customer support network. We deploy as the fleet is deployed. So we are growing in this market. And of course, Cessna is already in the market since, I don't know, the 30s or something like that. And of course, they have a population of aircraft, very large. And that means there is a network of service for Cessna already. Embraer has been no different. I mean, the attitude is there. The commitment to support the customers is there. And even more so, I mean, on the airline world, we have been supporting all these airlines for 40 years, right? On the executive jets world, we understood from day one that it had to be a dedicated customer support network. We don't share the same facilities and the same network from the airline world because an executive jet customer requires a different attitude and a different mentality how you support. An airline, you go to Paramount website, for instance, and you know flight XYZ when it's going from point A to B, right? So we know where our aircraft is going to be, right? On a business jet, where if you buy a Phenom, you tell me when you're going to fly, why you're going to fly, where you're going to fly. Now, that's why you decided to have a private jet. So the level of support I have to have is way different. And that's a lot of investment. We have been consistently doing this since 2005. So we are now in Asia, for instance, we have service centers in Singapore, in China, now in India. We are working on a service center in Australia to be announced soon. And the network expands. We have, of course, quite a few service centers in Europe, North America, because we have a large population of aircraft already deployed there. But we are also enhancing this in Asia, no doubt. There will be more.
One more thing, I was just watching the operational checklist for pilots, which have been drastically reduced, and that in turn is a good thing because that will reduce the workload on the pilots. But having said that, how reliable it is for an experienced pilot to all of a sudden drop down to just 2 or 3 steps, and is he comfortable enough to fly the aircraft? Is he confident enough to fly the aircraft? Also, we see that the checklist which you presented is in stepwise is far more lesser as compared to some of the training aircrafts like Cessna 152 or 150. So how reliable those in terms of flight safety?
Well, first, on the Phenom, we'll see, and we are seeing, a lot of pilots transitioning from a turboprop to a jet. Speeds and behavior of a jet is way different from a 142, 172. Way different. And the last thing you want to do, or you want to expect, and if you talk to pilots, what they expect is this. We didn't do this on our own. We did because it was discussed with the community of pilots and operators. And because we want to, make the aircraft as safe as possible, the operation as safe as possible, the least amount of checks it does, less opportunities for mistakes there are. And of course, the system is designed and is proved to be reliable as well, right? And we are not doing this by the first time. The airlines, even in the airline world, what you do for a pilot that flies 3,000 hours a year on a commercial jet, right? You want to make his life as simple as possible. If there are far too many checks and repeated checks every 2 hours of the flight, six times a day, the chances to have a mistake is high because he's checking many things at the same time, So the feedback has been great, This makes it simple to fly. And on the training program, other than just, We have a ground school and simulators like any other training program has. We have an initial assessment that the pilot can do remotely on the web so that we know what is the level of knowledge of the pilot, the background, experience before going to ground school. Then once he does all the training and so on, we can recommend a mentoring pilot for him or not. Mentoring means, okay, you understand the basics and have a good proficiency, but we recommend you for the first 50 hours, 100 hours of flight, be together with experienced pilot by your side, you know. So this is how far we go in this project, you know, in the helping the customers to take the best benefit out of it. Okay.
Last question. Regarding the, just out of curiosity, I'm asking this. The warranty coverage of your airframe or standard avionics or vendor components or manufacturer components. So have you decided anything on the warranty coverage? How long?
Yes. The Phenom 100 is a 3 years warranty.
3 years.
300 is a 5 years warranty. Wow.
Okay, that's more than a year than Cessna or Mustang.
Yeah.
Okay. So finally, do you think Mustang can be a competitor for you in the market?
Look, Cessna is a outstanding manufacturer, knowledgeable manufacturer. The Mustang is a good product, but if you have a chance to look at both side by side, you realize what is the real difference between the Phenom and the Mustang.
Okay.
I have presentations, if we have an opportunity to show you, a direct comparison between the Mustang and the Phenom 100.
Cessna has uploaded their own comparison on the website.
Yeah, well, that's normal. We do the same, but our product, if you compare in terms of cabin and performance, would compare to something between the CJ1 and CJ2, not the Mustang. Right? The Mustang is on a different category when you look at the Phenom and the Mustang.
Okay.
By chance, yesterday when we were at the ramp here in the New Delhi airport, there was a CJ2 side by side with the Phenom, and people would say, "Is this a Phenom or a 100, 300?" No, it's a 100, not a 300, because we thought it was smaller than that. No, it's not smaller. It's a big aircraft.
Okay.
All right. So I'll send you some comparisons.
Okay.
And any doubt, please let us
Sure.
know. Okay. It's there is a market, there is competition, of course. We recognize Cessna is an outstanding competitor, and they do good products. But on the comparison between the Phenom and Mustang, we should be fair. I mean, we're not comparing apples to apples.
Do we get the opportunity to interact with the pilot?
The pilot.
I believe pilots are the real seller of the
aircraft. Yes. You're absolutely right. They help a lot. They help a lot in the process.
So would like to interact.
Yes. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.